What's up, SML? We finally made it. It's the regular season finale episode of Weekend Roundup. On today's episode, we're going to go over the last 4 weeks, game of the weeks. We're going to have our top 5 plays, and then we've got a rapid fire where we're not going to have a special guest, but I'm going to pick the playoff games and how I see them unfolding. So without any further ado, let's get into this first game. It was the Giants and the Cardinals. And to start out, we have Saquon Barkley here taking the ball to the right side. He's going to end up scoring a touchdown, get the scoring started early, and then Golden Tate down the right sideline. Deep throw from Daniel Jones. He's going to score as well, and the Giants got out to an early lead. But the Cardinals would answer back with Philip Lindsay up the middle for a touchdown. And then the Giants, of course, Saquon Barkley again to the left side this time. He's going to make a couple guys miss, and he's going to take it to the end zone. Philip Lindsay, though, answers back with a run up the middle from the 35-yard line. You can see here he just bounces it back to the left, right through the open hole, takes it in for a touchdown. Then late in the game, a screen pass to Golden Tate goes for a touchdown that gives the Giants the lead, which they end up holding on to take the win thanks to this Trey Herndon interception of Kyler Murray late in the game. That seals it for the Giants as they're going to put away the Cardinals with a score of 33-29. You can see Kyler Murray wasn't really that great. 148 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. They did most of their damage on the ground with 130 yards from Lindsay with 3 touchdowns. But the Giants continued to have a huge offensive game. They got 212 and 2 touchdowns from Daniel Jones. Saquon Barkley added 209 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then Golden Tate, 109 yards on 3 catches. 2 of those went for touchdowns. So big game from the Giants there. And that was part of what propelled them into the playoffs, which we'll get into later in the show. But our second game of the week also involved the Cardinals. This time it was the Cardinals taking on the Eagles. The Cardinals got it started early with Carson Wentz right up the middle on a quarterback run, and he scores the first touchdown. But the Cardinals answer back. Kyler Murray finds Hopkins on the left side of the end zone. And then Miles Sanders ended up playing really well, at least for a stretch in this game, as he has this touchdown run to the left side, and then he's going to have another touchdown run again to the left side here. And you can see the blocking is really good. He's untouched till he gets to the end zone. But the Cardinals just proved to be too much. Right here you got Kyler Murray, can't find anybody, and he just rolls out into the end zone for a touchdown. And then he's going to find Hopkins here in the corner again, just like he did earlier in the game, wide open down the sideline, and Hopkins is going to get in for the touchdown. And then to cap it off, Philip Lindsay screen pass here. He makes a couple guys miss, and then he's just off to the races. And that's going to do it for the Eagles there as the Cardinals go on to win 38-20. Jalen Hurts got a little bit of he got two passing attempts, no yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Be interesting to see if the Eagles, who have said Wentz is on the block, if they turn to Hurts. That wasn't a really impressive performance. Miles Sanders, on the other hand, 158 yards, 2 touchdowns, was pretty big. And then this time the Cardinals were really balanced. 253 yards and 4 touchdowns from Murray, and then 141 yards from Lindsay. So they got their offense going in a big way against the Eagles there. All right, so then we had our Week 16 game of the week, and that's going to be the Broncos taking on the Chargers. The top 2 teams in the AFC West facing off again for the second time. And Austin Eckler gets it started early with a run up the middle. But then Calais follows it up with 2 touchdown runs up the middle. And you can see both of those here. They almost look identical because both of them from the 1-yard line. And then you see here you got Herbert. He's going to find Hunter Henry in the end zone. But then he kind of falls apart as he throws 2 pick sixes here to Kareem Jackson. Here's the first one where Jackson just cuts off the receiver, and he's going to take it back for 6. And then on the second of his 2 interceptions, you can see Herbert just throws it right to him. I don't know if he didn't see him or what happens here, but Jackson jumps in front of it, and he's again going to take it down for the touchdown, and that's going to give the Broncos the second win of the season against the Chargers. So be interested to see if those 2 match up in the playoffs. But Week 16, Broncos win 31-21, brings them to 16-0, and the Chargers drop to 13-3. Locke, no touchdown passes, but he did have 211 yards on 14 for 18 passing, so he was efficient other than that 1 interception. And Herbert, 4 interceptions. He's going to have to fix that before the playoffs, but That's also against Dan. We'll see how he does. First round, he's going to be playing Woods, so I'm sure he'll do a little bit better than that. But that was our Week 16 game of the week, and then Week 17 was going to be myself and the Jaguars taking on the Colts for the AFC South Championship. And we got started early with Winston to Laviska Shenault here for the touchdown to get the scoring started at 7-0. And then come back, and Devontae Freeman runs a 20-yard touchdown run to put us up 14-0. And then we have another 1-yard run here from Devontae Freeman. And it was probably one of his better games of the year. Here you can see Eason drops back, and he finds Paris Campbell coming across the field, just hits him in time to score the touchdown. But then here's Devontae Freeman scoring his third touchdown on the game, and that's going to put it away for the Jaguars, who end up winning 35-29. The Colts added a late touchdown, but weren't able to recover the onside kick. You can see it was a big passing game for both teams. Winston only had 8 incompletions. He threw for 373 yards and 2 touchdowns. He did have one interception in the end zone too, so that was a big turnover for Winston. We're gonna have to get that straightened out before we play the Colts again in round 1. But Freeman, 104 yards, 3 touchdowns. Laviska Shenault had a big coming out game here. 9 catches, 233 yards, and 2 touchdowns. DJ Chark was held to no catches for the entire game, and Shenault stepped up in a big way. On the other side of the field, though, Eason, he had a couple bad throws, but as you can see, he only missed 15 incompletions, but he threw for 362 yards and 3 touchdowns. The 3 interceptions really hurt. And the big thing here that stands out is Jonathan Taylor coming in as leading for Rookie of the Year. He was held to 11 carries for 37 yards. I don't know if Prime was trying to keep him healthy going into the playoffs, or if the Jaguars just played good defense. But we'll see what happens in round 1 when these two teams face off again, this time in Jacksonville. All right, so that's going to take us to our top 5 plays of the week. And here they are. Starting with number 5, we have Dalvin Cook coming in. And he makes a huge juke here on his way to a touchdown. And you can see it here. He runs off to the right side, playing against field. He puts a juke on 2 defenders, and he ends up stumbling his way into the end zone. This next one is going to come from the Bears-Jaguars game. And this is Devontae Freeman making 5 guys miss. He got 1, 2, 3 with the spin move, 4, and then a 5th guy there with the juke. Gets the first down. Our third number 3 play of the week is from the same game. This one right before halftime. Trubisky out to the right side, pitches it to Cohen. Cohen cuts back in, makes a guy miss. Bears end up scoring a touchdown right before halftime. Really big play for them. Then here in the Seattle game, you can see Russell Wilson's going to drop back about 15 yards by the end of it, and he's going to lob one up to DK Metcalf as he gets hit. Metcalf's going to go up and get it, take a big hit, and just keep going. He doesn't even go down. And then our number 1 play of the week comes from Buffalo. Tre'Davious White right here makes a diving interception, picks off Ben Roethlisberger. That was a huge play for the Bills there. And that was our top 5 plays of the week. If your play didn't get selected, have better plays. I don't know what to tell you. But so the last segment we're going to have here is going to be rapid fire. And we don't have a guest on this time, so I'm going to make the playoff predictions. And we have our wild card round set after that Texans game that just finished up. So here's what our wild card round looks like. Right now we've got the Texans taking on the Dolphins. We've got the Colts traveling to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. And then the Chargers are going to be going to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Now, that's our AFC side. In the NFC, we've got the Giants and the Cardinals, the Bears and the Cowboys, and then the 49ers and the Panthers. So we'll start with the NFC. First game I'm looking at here is going to be the Giants and the Cardinals. Now, we just showed you the Giants taking on the Cardinals, and the Giants were able to pull it out. I don't think there's been a hotter team in the SML right now than Rowan and his Giants. They've been playing really well, but they've been winning a lot of games at the end. So for this game, it's a tough choice. I'm going to go with Meats. I think it's tough to beat somebody 2 times in a row, and I think Meats just squeaks this one out. I think it comes down to the end, but I think the magic runs out for Rowan and the Giants, and Meats is going to move on to the second round. Our next game is going to be Figs against Grams. This is another tough one. I only played Figs. I've never played Grams at all, so I don't have much to go on here. I don't think Figs is going to be able to keep up offensively with the Cowboys. So I'm going to pick the Cowboys here, and I'm gonna say they win by about 10. I think the Ezekiel Elliott, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Dak Prescott, that's just going to be too much for the Bears, and I think that the Cowboys pull this one out. Then we have the 49ers and the Panthers here. Now, just like I said, no one's been hotter than Rowan. Dump's getting pretty close. He's played really well. He just came off a win against Meats. He beat Tiny in week 17, and Tiny's not the Tiny we're used to with the Titans. He's on the verge of the playoffs there with the Seahawks, and the 49ers had no problem with him. So I'm going to go with the 49ers over the Panthers here. I think he focuses on stopping Christian McCaffrey, and if he can do that, he shouldn't have any problems beating the Panthers. So in the NFC, we're going with the Cardinals, the Cowboys, and the 49ers. Those are my 3 picks in the NFC. Move it over to the AFC. We'll start with the Texans and the Dolphins. Just watch the Texans beat the Titans pretty easily. I think they won by like 2 touchdowns. But I feel really good about Paulie's team. I feel like he's ready to play. He comes out very prepared, and he's all season long played his game plan. He's had a couple bumps here and there, coming in at 12-4, but it's tough to find a better team in the AFC that's going to be playing in this round than Paulie's team. So I think the we'll say 14 points. I think he beats them pretty easily. I don't think this is going to be too close. Next game will be the Jaguars and the Colts. Now, I've beaten the Colts twice. Both times we matched up in the regular season. First game was pretty close. He was getting used to Eason. And then week 17 wasn't really as close, but I feel like he was holding back with Jonathan Taylor. So I'm going to say Prime wins this game. I think it's going to be close again, but it's tough to beat somebody 3 times in one season. So I'm gonna say Prime wins this one in a close one. Comes down to a field goal, but I think he gets it. And then our last game is going to be QB Stud against Woods. I don't think this is going to be close at all. I think QB Stud is probably the second best team in the AFC, and I think Woods plays me tough, but it seems like that's about it. He's had some really questionable losses, and I don't think he can keep up with QB Stud. His team's still a little young. QB Stud's got a really good secondary, and I think that's going to cause problems because Woods is either going to have to go with Baker Mayfield or he's going to bench him again, and I don't think that other option is any better. So I'm going to give this one to QB Stud, and I think he wins by like 21. He's been really hot on offense lately. I think this one's going to be over early. But those are my picks for this week. So we'll see how those turn out. Really no telling what we could see in the playoffs. Who knows? Anybody can win any week, so I could be completely off on these picks. That's just what I think. So we'll see. The playoffs should start either tonight. I say tonight if this airs on Saturday. Should start either Saturday night or Sunday. Looking at, I think we have 2 games left to play, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, I was wrong on at least one of those picks, maybe the Colts one, but we'll see. So appreciate you guys watching, and then we'll have more episodes obviously during the playoffs. So good luck to everybody in the playoffs, and good luck to everybody that's not in the playoffs with your off season and the draft.